Yes, I'm all back here. I feel like I'm in the back here, but I know I'm not. There I am. I'm Penelope. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm glad to be here with you this afternoon celebrating our beloved Reverend Dr. David. Yes, Alexander. Yes. And there's a yes right before that. And so I invite you to join with me as we sing our opening song. It's called Grateful. I am grateful. Grateful for this day, for the love we share. Yes, the life we make, and I give thanks for all the many ways that the love of God appears. I am grateful, grateful for this day, for the love we share, the life we make, and I give thanks for all the many ways that the love of God appears. I am grateful, grateful for this day, for the love we share, the life we make, and I give thanks for all the many ways that the love of God appears. I am grateful, grateful for this day, for the love we share, the life we make, and I give thanks for all the many ways that the love of God appears. Yes, the love of God is here. Yes, please be seated. Thank you.
Thank you, Penelope, and welcome everyone to the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. How's everyone doing? Wonderful. I am Jean Bell. I'm the associate minister here. My pronouns are she and her, and I am so glad that you are all here with us today. If you are viewing on Facebook or YouTube Live, please like and share this broadcast so we can continue to spread the wonderful news of science of mind and new thought out into the world. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please see a welcome team member out in the library, in the hallway for a gift, especially for you. If we had a library, I would send you there too. All right, we're going to go through this affirmation, and we have a very special day, a wonderful day. We're going to celebrate Reverend David's 50th birthday, the big 50. As well as wish him a bon voyage to his greater yet to be, his next adventure. Yes, but first the affirmation. So I'm going to read it all the way through, and then I'm going to invite you to say it along with me. All right. I am the light of divine love, shining boldly through every circumstance. The radiance of spirit glows with me and expresses through all that I do. Even in the dark night of the world, my light cannot be diminished. It becomes brighter, stronger, and more courageous. My love dissolves fear. My faith transforms despair. And our unity reveals the presence of God everywhere, now and always. All right, let's say this together with one voice. I am the light of divine love, shining boldly through every circumstance. The radiance of spirit glows within me and expresses through all that I do. Even in the dark night of the world, my light cannot be diminished. It becomes brighter, stronger, and more courageous. My love dissolves fear. My faith transforms despair. And our unity reveals the presence of God everywhere, now and always, and so it is. Right now, I would like to invite our board president up. She has some wonderful words for Reverend Dr. David Alexander. But first, I would like to say, Reverend David, thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity of serving this wonderful community. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to grow in my ministry. Much love.
Hello. Reverend David, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, the staff, and the members of the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta, thank you. Thank you for taking the leap of faith to come to SLCA and to Atlanta to be that prophetic voice committed to radical liberation of humanity through a universal spiritual awakening. Thank you for calling us to strengthen our moral obligation and our moral imagination to call forth a world that works for all. Thank you for your depth of knowledge that you've shared with us. As you all know, Reverend David is an academic. Thank you for introducing us to poets and authors that we hadn't heard of, that spoke to our hearts and called us to action. Thank you for reminding us that many of our roots came out of liberation theology. Thank you for breaking down those first 4 chapters of Science of Mind textbook in the Back to Basics and in the classes. Thank you for giving us the historical context, the metaphysical meaning, and the modern day application of many familiar stories of the Bible. And thank you for pushing us to go beyond using this life-changing, world-changing philosophy to get princes, palaces, and parking spaces. So I spent some time this week just contemplating what I would really say. And there's a scripture reference in Numbers 6:24-26 that came to mind. And there's a song called The Blessing that has that same blessing in the opening. So as I speak this blessing to Reverend David, I'd like to ask the congregation to please extend your hands and wrap Reverend David in love. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. May God's blessings be upon you and 1,000 generations, your family and your children and their children and their children. May God's presence go before you and behind you and beside you and around you and within you, for God is with you. God is with you. In the morning and in the evening, in your coming and in your going, in your weeping and your rejoicing. God is for you. God is for you. Amen, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much.
Back to Reverend Jean.
All right, we're going to say this affirmation together in one voice. Ready? I am the light of divine love, shining boldly through every circumstance. The radiance of Spirit glows with me and expresses through all that I do. Even in the dark night of the world, my light cannot be diminished. It becomes brighter, stronger, and more courageous. My love dissolves fear. My faith transforms despair, and our unity reveals the presence of God everywhere now and always. We're saying that one more time so that we know that no matter what's happening in the world, we have community, and we are strong together, always. Please remember that. Love you, Reverend David.
With every prayer, I breathe the heart of God. I breathe the love of God through me. With every prayer, I breathe the heart of God. I breathe the love of God through me. As I open and allow, I know right here and now, I create a world where wonders never cease. With every prayer, I breathe the heart of God. I breathe the love of God through me.
Alpha and Omega, no beginning no end, always present, everywhere, equally. I am one with this one, just as each one of us is one, with Spirit and with each other. And knowing this, I know that wherever I go, God is. No need to fear, no need to wonder. I stand boldly on holy ground. I stand boldly wherever I am, because I stand as the micro of the macro that we call God, Spirit, and by so many names. And in knowing that, I give thanks, I celebrate, and I know that even in the change, there is a constant. That constant is Spirit. And I am glad, and I'm at peace. And I know that I have my coming and my going in this wonderful peace. And I can be sustained in whatever is coming my way, whatever is coming up. I give thanks for this center, the teaching, the way of life that we have that will carry us through whatever shows up. I give thanks for Reverend David, his time with us, and we know that he will bless wherever he is. And we are just happy that we were able to have him bless us in his presence. I give thanks for the teaching. I give thanks for all who participate online in the seats, all who prepare week after week so that we can have a service that changes lives, that makes a difference. And let me be the beginning of the difference. Let me be all that I want to see in this world. I know that these words do not come back void. There is power in my speaking. There is truth in my knowing. And I release all of this into the light, into the law, knowing that it goes before me and does the work. And I am grateful, and so it is.
With every prayer, I breathe the heart of God. I breathe the love of God through me. With every prayer, I breathe the heart of God. I breathe the love of God through me. As I open and allow, I know right here and now, I create a world where wonders never cease. With every prayer, I breathe the heart of God. I breathe the love of God through me.
Lighting the flames of faith. A call to service. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence which we call Spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We recognize the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We recognize the candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of the primal spirituality. We recognize the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We recognize the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We recognize the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We recognize the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We recognize the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We recognize the candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We recognize the candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. As we recognize the healing candle, please put silently in the light the name of anyone you wish to experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
All right, good afternoon. Good to see you all. Good to be here. I'm David Alexander. My pronouns are he and his, and I'm delighted to be with you today. And I'm delighted that the first opportunity on this very special day that I have to speak to you is to ask you for money. Because that brings us right to the point, which is that your support, your energy, your consciousness, your contribution is what fuels this place and keeps it going, and will keep it going after me and after who's next and after that, as we have done for 47 years. And so it is an important moment to be in divine right relationship with a place that feeds us, that fills our hearts and our minds and our soul with inspiration, to be in right relationship with that law of circulation that we have received much, and therefore we joyfully and freely give much. And as I've often said, it is a liberated soul that gives freely. Generosity is the activity of a liberated soul. So if you know that you're free,
Amen.
I know some people that know that they're free. You know that you're free, right? You're free from dogma. You're free from fear. You're free from worry, from doubt, from all of those things, because these principles have taught you that. You know that you're free. And so generosity is the activity of a liberated soul. So with that sense of generosity, hold your gifts in your hands, or if you need to get out your phone and do what you need to do with them, let's have that screen back up just for a moment in case somebody needs to do that. You can use the phone number, text to give. And I'm talking to everybody online as well. If you're watching our service, and part of our digital community, we welcome you into this day. We're grateful that you're here today and contributing your energy and your consciousness to this space. And we invite you to contribute your financial gift and circulation into this space as well, whether it's Sunday afternoon or morning, wherever you are that you're watching, or later in the week that you're tuning into us. We're grateful that you're taking time to do that, and please make yourself available to the ways to give, which are Text any size gift with your phone to 404-800-9467. Scan the QR code, visit our website, or cash or check in the room with our ushers. And so as we do that, or if you're like me and you're a pledger, you've got it all set up to happen automatically, then you can get a little laminated pledging card and drop that in the basket so you're participating in that circulation as well. Okay, good. All hearts and minds clear on that? We're ready, we're generous, we're free. We understand what the assignment is. Let's bless this place because it has blessed us. And let's do so with this affirmation. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is, and so we are. Thank you.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful for all that we have. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful. We are so blessed.
All right. As we bring these gifts forward now, we extend our hearts to them. We wrap our minds and our consciousness around this divine bounty, this love offering, this pouring out from each individual here and online and throughout the month and the week, throughout the divine appointed timing of each and every individual's appointed time of circulation. I give thanks. I know that each of these are a point in consciousness that is connected to the lifeblood of this community, and it's an expression of gratitude for the wisdom, the insight, the teaching, the learning that has been received, and the willingness to embody these principles and shine them out into the world. So I receive these gifts knowing that they come now pressed down, overflowing into the heart of this ministry to feed and fuel and fund everything that needs to be fed and fueled and funded, and overflowing more back into the life of this community and beyond. For this and more, I say thank you, God, and so it is. Peace and blessings.
Reverend David, and what an honor it has been to work with you for these last 6 years. And as Reverend Jean was saying, you allowed us to grow our ministries, and I just want us to invite each of us to consider the lessons learned under his tutelage. He is a great teacher, and I have learned so much. We have been through so much together as a country and as a people and as a center, and I'm so honored that we've had to all walk together. Love you.
Amen.
And he said, let your light shine, baby.
Yes.
I need you to help me with this one. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, woo! I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, shine. Everybody, shine, shine. You know you want to shine, shine. All around the world, shine, shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh yeah, everywhere I go, let it shine everywhere I go. Everywhere, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, shine, shine. Everybody, shine, shine. You know you want to. Shine, shine. All around the world, shine, shine. When there's light in the soul, when there's light in the soul, there is beauty in the person. There is beauty in the person. When there's beauty in the person, there's beauty in the person. There's harmony in the home. There is harmony in home. When there's harmony in the home, when there's harmony in the home, there is honor in the nation. When there's honor in the nation, woo, there is peace in the world. No more living in fear. We're gonna let it shine. No more living in fear. We're gonna let it shine. No more living in fear. We're gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Everybody, shine, shine. You know you want to. Shine, shine. All around the world, shine, shine. Yeah.
All right. Let's give some love to Penelope Williams, our music director. Yes, and that brings us to all kinds of gratitude for all of the amazing people that serve this community. And we'll start with our music ministry again. When we came here, we had, I don't know how many pieces in the band, but more than one. And, it's been a difficult time financially for churches over the last couple of years with COVID. And I don't know anybody who has done more with less, with more grace and pizzazz and talent and amazement week after week after week. Let's give some love to Penelope. And then behind the scenes, it's got to look good, it's got to sound good, it's got to show up good. And so all of our crew in the booth, including our volunteers, but our multi-talented and multi-handed executive director, Shannon Pruitt, who does just about everything from cooking chicken to and everything else in between, and CJ, and often there's a whole other crew of volunteers there in the booth. Let's give all of our AV team a wonderful hand. All of our associate and all of our assistant ministers, I see, where did I see? There's Susan Zoller and Avon and all the other assistant ministers that serve this community in ways that they're asked and requested from time to time, and all led by Reverend Jean Bell. Let's give her some love. Thank you so much. Wonderful, wonderful. And the newly minted Reverend Nana. Yes. Gonna do great things in the world globally and representing SLCA as she does it. And then every week we get to feast and fellowship together in the social hall with food, and sometimes it's always good, and it's a whole lot of food, more than we can often take home or give away at the end of the day. So all of our volunteers who help down in the fellowship hall, let's give them some love. They're probably down there right now. Our ushers and greeters that serve in here, our children's ministry volunteers that show up and serve multiple children or just William. whatever it may be, but they're always here, and one or many, they're willing to serve and spend time doing that, and we're grateful for that. Let's give them all some love. I didn't make a list, so I hope I don't leave anybody out, but obviously our Board of Trustees and our practitioners, would you stand if you're here? Practitioners and Board of Trustees. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope that what you receive from this is that you are SLCA. This is SLCA. It has been a privilege and an honor to come here to serve. When I came here, we were getting ready for our 40th. I bought this for the community. I went online, I found something that was our branded colors, and I bought this, and because to me it represented the flame that is the community, the heart, the glow that is inside of each one of us. I've done board retreats, and I've talked about, when we serve on a board or when ministers serve, what we're handing off to each other and sharing amongst each other is the flame of a community. That each individual who comes, whether they're here for 40 years or for 10 years or for a few weeks, whether they're here because they were going through some major life transition, or they were drawn to something, or somebody suggested it, or they read something in a book, whether they stayed for a long time, or whether they got what they needed, and then moved on to something else. What happened within them was a spark, and a flame was lit. And when we serve as stewards on a board, when we serve as practitioners, when we serve as clergy in ministry, what we do in each of those roles, though those different roles have different functions and legalities and responsibilities, but what all of them do is they hold the flame. They hold the flame. Whether it's, again, for a term on the board or many decades, 20 years as a practitioner, or it's a few years or a decade or more as a minister. There's still something I want to have happen with this. I hope it happens after I leave, because now you can complete it with 4 sides. I thought, well, you could put Kennedy Schultz and his years served, and Paul Gagne and David Alt and now me. You don't have to put a dash, just an empty dash after it. Now you can complete that. But although it's a little bit sooner than I anticipated, but nonetheless, that's what it is about. It's about that flame that we have the opportunity to carry. It's been a wonderful journey together that we have risen higher, we've grown deeper, we've prayed, we've wept, we've remembered who we are through crises and turbulent times. And my heart is full today. I have only and ever been a servant to the flame of this community and any community that I have served. SLCA has never been and can never be defined by one single voice or a single leader or a single personality, although it's had some colorful ones over the years. We celebrated in August our colorful founding personality. It's always been a living field of consciousness that we've created together, the energy of love and inclusion and spirit that radiates from each of us. We've held the lamp for a while, but the glow, the warmth, the brilliance, it's always been you. And it's always something that we hold and cherish together. And so this series is perfect timing. Glow up. I didn't know it, but glow up, did you know that glow up is like a social media term? It comes from a song. How many people knew it? I just want to see. Okay, so we're getting a generational divide in the room here today by this. Who knows the song? Gotta glow up one day. Chief Keef. No idea. No idea. Don't be impressed by my wisdom. It's the magic of Google and ChatGPT and all those other things. But from that song, it became kind of this viral way of describing what then became trends you sometimes see on social media platforms of before and after, right? Photos before and after, makeup, style makeovers, newfound confidence, personal growth, somebody going through maybe physical training or losing a lot of weight, or before their degree or after their degree, or working on their career and then having it, or whatever it was. But you've all seen those kind of transformational montages and before and after things, and that is considered a glow up. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Now you do. And so, okay, yeah, we do envision a world that works for everyone. But a glow up is actually in the dictionary, and it's defined, or dictionary.com, defined as a positive personal transformation, typically one involving significant changes in appearance, confidence, and maturity. But as you and I, as students of truth, we know that there's a deeper meaning here. We know that the ultimate kind of spiritual glow up isn't about outward appearances, but it's about the inward awakening. It's about the moment that we let Spirit rise and come through us. It's the moment that we love ourselves enough to transmute fear into faith, comparison into compassion, and control into surrender. It's when gratitude becomes our daily vibration. This is a spiritual glow up. The author Pam Grout describes it beautifully as she writes this. She says, the still small voice reminds me that everything I see, everything I believe, is just a story I made up. It told me that in truth I am spirit, I am light. All those voices, those wars going on in my head are nothing but chunks of the collective consciousness that I can either believe and defend against or can transmute with gratitude. The real me, it told me, is kind, giving, in deep communion with all of creation. The real me is a true force of love. That awakening, that spark, that idea, that is the beginning of that ultimate glow up. This idea that it's not about cosmetic on the outside, but it's about the cosmic awakening, the cosmic illumination of our soul. So when we stop arguing with our shadows and start radiating our truth, it's when we no longer try to fix ourselves, but instead allow the light of God to reveal our true selves. When we remember who we are, that we are luminous beings of infinite worth, then your glow doesn't need validation, it just needs expression. How many people know that to be true, right? That your real glow, your real luminosity, you know, the real people who shine beautifully in the world are ones who, they know that their light doesn't need validation. Like, I'm just here to shine, and you can like it or you can not like it. Right? You can love it or you can not love it. You can acknowledge it or not acknowledge it. It doesn't really matter because I am walking in the room. You understand what I'm talking about? That's the kind of glow up confidence that we want to cultivate in this world. When we remember who we are, that we are, again, infinite, luminous beings of infinite worth. I love that phrase. Luminous beings of infinite worth. I am, go ahead and say it. I am a luminous being of infinite worth. I am a luminous being of infinite worth. Yes. Yes. Ernest Holmes in Can We Talk to God, a beautiful book called Can We Talk to God, he said, love does not overcome hate and fear through controversy, argument, or force, but by a subtle power of transformation, transmutation, and sublimation. It is invisible in its essence, but apparent through its act. As light overcomes darkness, as the presence of heat warms a cool room until it is comfortable, so the radiant action of love and peace dissipate fear, hate, and confusion. This is the metaphysical truth of what it means to glow up in this moment of society. that love doesn't fight the dark, it transforms it. That light doesn't negotiate with shadows, it simply shines. Our job, my friends, in this world today is not to argue with darkness, but to radiate truth until it dissolves it. Let me say that again. Yeah. There's a lot of darkness that it looks like we should be arguing with. But our truth, our true purpose is not to argue with darkness, but to radiate truth until it dissolves it. And that is what this teaching has always been about. In the face of thoughts of lack or limitation, in the face of unworthiness, in the face of the world telling us you're not this or you're not that or whatever it is, to illuminate and to find that place from within you and then shine that presence. Shine that through your affirmation. Shine that through your meditation. Shine that through your insight and inspiration of who you are, and to radiate it into the apparent void of darkness that would say otherwise until that void is gone. You do that in your relationships. You do that with your financial health. You do that with your physical well-being. You do that in your career and aspirations, with everything. And so too, socially, with the world that we are living in and the, let's be frank, craziness that we are surrounded by, right? Because we're not going to gloss over this moment and say that it's just a happy-go-lucky journey of what I call Care Bear theology, just shining rainbows from our belly buttons. But Care Bear generation, anyone? Okay. Because we are living in uneasy times. But this is what the mystics have called the dark night of the soul. And when we can live from that insight, from that inner place of the glow up, of the radiating presence of the divine that we are, and that, as it said earlier, the gratitude becomes the activity of our being, then we begin to see the world and we begin to just be grateful for everything that's happening, regardless of whether we like it or not. That's true gratitude, right? A conditional kind of gratitude is you like something and therefore you express thanks for it. But what happens when you're grateful even when it doesn't look good, even when it doesn't feel good, even when it doesn't sound good, even when it triggers fears or emotions or everything, and you simply begin with, because I know that God is all there is, there must be something in this to be grateful for, so I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. I'm grateful that the world is seeing how crazy we've let things get. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that more people are paying attention to what due process is and arguing for it and advocating for it. I'm grateful that more people are being kind to their neighbors. I'm grateful that more people are saying that we need more compassionate solutions to things. I'm grateful that all of this stuff is, I am grateful that this, careful. Oh, what are they going to do? This crazy administration gathered over 800 of the world's top generals, right, into one room. Never mind what a terribly disastrous, unsafe thing to do. To A, do it. To B, tell the world that you're going to do it. And then advertise it all over social media and everything else. I mean, they won't even let, they don't want to even let all members of Congress in the same room at the same time, right? But here they said, no, let's bring all the generals together and give them the same room so we can give them a pep talk about fear and loathing in 2025, right? And so in the initial onset, and this is how I move through the world in navigating these things. From that glow-up standpoint, from the initial onset, I was in fear, I was in worry and doubt. I was like, oh my goodness, and looking at all the crazy things that are happening. But then I said, you know what? I'm grateful. I watched that thing, and I watched the crazy talk come out of that man's mouth, and then I watched the crazy talk come out of that other man's mouth, and I heard the crazy things that they said, and I watched 800 generals. Nothing. No read whatsoever. And suddenly when I kind of analyzed it and I thought about it for just a moment, I filled up with gratitude and said, I'm grateful that they were all there in person because they saw crazy face to face. They saw it with their own eyes. They were nose to nose, and they saw the whites of the eyes of crazy. And so it's not hyperbole, it's not suggestion, it's not media spin. No, I was there. I was in the room, I heard it, and that's nuts. And we ain't doing that. And that's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen, because the crazy order will come. And those generals have a deeper pledge to the heart of the Constitution, despite personality or that's presiding over it, than anything else. And they have it at a depth of their being that you and I can barely fathom. And they saw crazy face to face, and I heard it in meditation. It's just going to be a clear no. No, we're not doing that. I'm sorry. You're going to have to find somebody else. We are not doing that. Right? So I'm grateful that all of this stuff is coming up, because it's just like we practice in our individual principles. If I say I want a prosperous life, if I say I want a life of wonderful expression and freedom and joy and love and compassion or whatever it is, then as I'm going through classes, as I'm learning about affirmations and meditation, then all of the stuff that is contrary to that is going to start bubbling up in my life. It's going to start popping out in all kinds of weird ways. And I'm going to go, what the heck is that? I didn't pray for that, right? I prayed for the opposite of that. And you're going to show back up in class and go, Rev, hey, how come that ugly thing is there? Is it because you're praying for transformation? Because you're praying for your life to be different, because you're praying to elevate your prosperity consciousness. And so you got to deal with all of the ways in which you have perhaps not been in gratitude and prosperity consciousness and living into the law of circulation with faith and trust and believing that there's more than enough because the universe is infinite. Maybe sometimes you've operated from scarcity or doubt or fear or worry. And so all of those things are going to pop back up, and they're going to say, what about us? You still believe in us? You still going to feed us? The mitochondria of your soul, the little being, hey, you got to stop eating sugar. Well, what about us? What about us? They're going to go, whoa, hey, we're here, right? It happens biologically. It happens mentally. It happens spiritually. It's all the same thing, because God is all that there is. And so we're living in this moment, a very concerning moment that we're eyes wide open about. Chicago alderperson Maria Hayden described a recent incident over this past weekend in which she said this. At 1 a.m, they hovered over a residential neighborhood in an American city, and they repelled soldiers from Black Hawks. They busted into people's homes. They took citizens and non-citizens. They didn't care. They ripped them from their homes. They zip-tied them. They went in without a warrant, and they did so because they could. So we're saying they can't. Stand with us. Stand with Broadview. Stand with Chicago. Stand with the organizers who are fighting. At 1 a.m, helicopters over an apartment building. Black Hawk helicopters, soldiers repelling into the building. Zip tie, women, children, clothed and unclothed, ripping them apart from each other. Terrible things are happening outside at any time of night and day. Poor and helpless people are being dragged out of their homes. Families are torn apart. Men, women, and children separated. Children come home from school to find their parents have disappeared. From the Diary of Anne Frank. 80 years apart. Same terror, same cruelty, same silence from too many of us. And so the question for those who call ourselves light bearers in the world, who call ourselves people of faith, connected to a oneness, connected to an infinite love, connected to a luminous being of infinite power and presence. What good is our glow if it shines only where it's safe? The flashlight isn't very helpful in daylight. There you go. Listen, I only got a few more hours here. I need, not today, I don't mean this few more hours. I just, in Atlanta generally. What good? A flashlight isn't very good. Broad daylight. It's very helpful in the dark. You understand what I'm saying? This is our moment when our glow must become courageous. This is our moment when our love must become public. This is our moment when knowing peace must become our radiance, our resistance to dehumanization. This is the moment when our glow must become courageous, when our love must become public, and when our knowing of peace, our inner knowing, all of our prayer and meditation work, all of our calming affirmations, all of our centering, all of our I know peace inside of my being, all of that wonderful, beautiful, cultivating for 47 years or how many years you've been reading and studying this stuff, doing it, comes into a resistance to the dehumanization, a resistance to the inhumanity, a resistance to all of the garbage and the nonsense, all of the dark that is surrounding us right now, to glow from the inside. See, I grew up in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And right now, this time of year, always around my birthday, I always thought it was pretty special. They do this thing called the Balloon Fiesta. Anybody ever traveled, been to part of the Balloon Fiesta? Y'all need to get out. Albuquerque, New Mexico is part of the United States. I always got to add that part because we used to get mail with like 3 stamps on it. People would be like, anyway. So Albuquerque, biggest hot air balloon event in the world. 9 days, always the first 2 weekends in October. And, I know they got some stuff here going on right now, too, and it's cute because they got like 12 balloons. We're talking 800-900 balloons, okay, different shapes and sizes. And one of the events, so they have what they call mass ascensions, where hundreds and hundreds of balloons go up into the air during the early morning hours of the weekends. And then during the week, they have all kinds of races and special events and competitions and things, special shapes, etc. And in the evenings, particularly on the weekends, they do what they call the balloon glow. So they fill up the field with all of these balloons just before dusk, and then they're upright and they're tethered, so they're not going to fly off. And then it gets really dark, and then they fire those propane tanks and flames into the balloon, and the night sky fills because they're huge, and you're this little thing and walking amongst hundreds, and the glow and the radiance, and some balloons have faces on them, some have different colors and different shapes, and it's just this amazing illumination of something that was always there, but you couldn't tell that it was there, because when it goes dark, then you can't see them. You can't tell the shapes or distinguish the colors or that sort of thing. And then they glow again. And then they go dark. And then they glow again. And it's this beautiful, wonderful, magnificent thing. We talked about the flame today. But see, here's the thing about what happens in the balloon glow, what happens in that glow of radiance from our own being, is you have to have fire. You have to have fire. Fire requires 3 things. One we've been talking about, which is initially the spark. The spark is the divine idea. The spark is I'm a luminous being of infinite worth. The spark is I'm whole, perfect, and complete. The spark is, wait a minute, if God is all there is, then how can I be separate from that? The spark is, those things, that divine idea. You read something, you feel something, you see a sunset, piece of music, whatever it might be, it's a spark. It's the inspiration. It's the moment. It's the synapse firing into its authentic awareness of who and what it is. It's the Big Bang. It's the creative force and pulse of the universe moving out. That's the spark. Then you need oxygen. Flame can't live without oxygen. And so the oxygen is the spiritual practice. It's the breath. It's the ruha, which is the Aramaic word for breath that God breathed into Adam, first being, male and female, by the way, Adam, androgynous. The first being breathed breath into him, he, her, it, Adam. breath. Your breath is your spiritual practice. It's your breathing. It's not just your physical breathing, but it's your breathing of spiritual practice, your prayer, your meditation, your tithes and circulation. You see, the third thing that a fire needs is fuel. And a lot of people think that when you give money to church, that's your fuel. Or you think in your personal life that that's your fuel because it's what you live on. It's not the fuel. When you're giving in tithing and circulation to a church, that's oxygen. And when you're not doing it, you're depriving it of oxygen. You're just as you are, if you're praying and meditating and practicing on a daily basis, it's oxygen into your being, into your spiritual presence, into the world. When you're not doing it, you're starving it from oxygen. Your spiritual practice, which is prayer, meditation, forgiveness, visioning, circulation, all of those things are oxygen into the spark. That's the second thing, spark, oxygen. The third thing is fuel. Now, the fuel in the hot air balloons is the propane tanks that are in the gondolas, right? And so that's obviously a fuel, propane. And there can be lots of different kinds of fuel for fire: wood, paper, propane, natural gas, all kinds of other natural gases, coal, etc. Now, I want you to pay attention to that for a minute. The fuel is not only that which gets consumed by the flame. Watch this. The flame is that which is willing to be transformed. The fuel is that which is willing to be transformed. The fuel changes from propane into heat. The coal burns from coal into the heat. The paper dissolves, dissipates. Solid wood becomes the coal. You following what I'm saying? It changes. It doesn't stay the same, right? I know some people that have been in churches and like, oh yes, Spirit used, and we sing Ricky Byers, "Use Me, God," and it's like, you haven't changed. You haven't had a new thought in 40 years, you know? When you say, "Use me, God," you're saying, use me, consume me. I'm willing to be changed. I'm willing to be transformed from what I was to what I will be. Use me so that the energy that radiates off of me, the glow up that comes from me, radiates into the world. And I'm no longer the same person. The fuel is you. You are the fuel. You got to have a spark. This is where you get your spark. Keep coming back here, because this is where we provide a spark every Sunday at 3 o'clock. Don't tell me you sleep in. Right? Tell that to some other church, not to this one. We hear when you awake, okay? This is where you get the spark. This is where you get the idea. This is the meditation, the reading, the insight, something the minister said, something in the song, something in the community, a feeling. You get the spark. This is also where you get the insight on how to keep the oxygen going, how to keep breathing into it, how to keep praying and meditating and taking the classes and add that spiritual practice so that you got the oxygen flowing. But you are the fuel of Spirit's light in the world. Spirit is the divine spark, and it said, I need a fuel, and that fuel is you. You are that which stands in the place to say, use me, God. Transform me. Let my life be of use to you. Let me radiate peace and love and joy and justice and wholeness and compassion. Let me go from my previous thoughts of right and wrong and who's in and who's out and who deserves and who doesn't, to being the light of God that shines everywhere. It doesn't have any limitation to it. And let the world be transformed by that light, but you can't do it if you're still holding on to your... And I know some people that are like some petrified pieces of wood. They're like, yeah, I'm wood, but I'm like, girl, you petrified. Yeah. It's just the same as you were the day you walked in, with the same limitations, same thoughts of who's in and who's out and who's right and who's wrong and all of the other things. But if you don't transform, you haven't been in a New Thought church and had some new ideas and some shifting and some shedding and some changing, then you haven't offered yourself enough to it yet. You're just there for the social club aspect of it. I need you to offer yourself to it and be transformed by it. Say, you know, I used to think that those people over there, or I used to think that I couldn't have this, or I used to think that whatever it was, but I've been transformed because I offered myself to the spark and to the oxygen, and I became the fuel of the flame of God. Our light is not in this world naive optimism. It's moral luminosity. And Frank also wrote, in spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at heart. Can you believe that she saw what she saw? That she witnessed what she witnessed? She felt what she felt on a daily basis? And then to say, I still believe that people are really good at heart. She had to be living from a different source than what she was seeing. She had to have something else moving through her. And so we become the glow in the world. You are SLCA. You are the song, you are the prayer, you are the laughter, the fellowship, you're the food, the consciousness that calls forth love even when the world feels divided. You are the spirit that refuses to give up on humanity. And so when people say, well, what's going to happen to SLCA now? Tell them we're going to glow the F up. That's what you tell them. That's what you tell them. And glow the F up. The fear, we're going to glow it up. All the fear mongering, all the whatever else F could stand for, you fill it in. I'm going to use fear in this moment, right? We're going to glow the F up. We're going to radiate such a light and luminosity that it's going to transform the planet, and we invite you to come along. We invite you to feel the spark. We invite you to breathe and be participating of the oxygen, and we invite you to be transformed by the glow. We're going to glow the F up. Yes. Take a breath. I was going to put this on the screen. I forgot to. I don't know if I did another slide. I don't think I did. No. So I left this part out, so I'll say it and I invite you to repeat it after me. I am a brilliantly luminous being. We are the light of SLCA. Our love is stronger than change. Together we rise higher, grow deeper, and glow brighter. Let's do it again. I am a brilliantly luminous being. We are the light of SLCA. Our love is stronger than change. Together we rise higher. We grow deeper. And we glow brighter. And so it is. Peace and blessings. Thank you. Practitioners. Thank you, thank you. Practitioners, if you come forward, let's pray together. It's been such an honor to be in service to each of you and to this community over these last many years. I look forward to our connection remaining strong in whatever form that takes. I'm just a phone call away. I got a place to stay in Marietta, friends, so it's all good. And our practitioners are here for you to continue that spiritual love and support, that connection, that continued affirmation of who you are, who you're called to be, to help you navigate the trials and tribulations, to help you celebrate the successes and the wins, and to help you see through the dark night, to help you see through the dense fog, the luminous light of who and what you really are. They're trained in that. Lean on them. Connect with them. In person, online, whatever form it takes. They're skilled in the art of affirmative prayer, a powerful, piercing tool that cuts through the dark and ignites that spark again of who and what we are, fans it with the flame of with the oxygen of our faith, and allows it to glow in our being again. And so they join me now in consciousness to know this and only this, that there is one power, one life, one presence, one infinite divine energy and essence of all that there is. It is the power and the presence that we call God or Spirit, infinite intelligence, divine mind. It has many, many names. It cannot be limited by any name that's given to it because it is beyond all names. It is that which is. Paul Tillich called it the ground of all being, that which everything else comes from. And it is that divine essence, that infinite love, vibration, and frequency that we speak into now, knowing that we are one with that dynamic presence because we cannot be otherwise, because all that we are is what it is, in form, in expression, in shape and mold, as a being called you and a being called me and a being called him and her and this and that and each of us. And so I acknowledge that oneness, that inseparableness between myself and the divine. And because God and I are one, there's no thing from which my soul lacks. There's no thing from which the cravings of my heart, the desires of my soul, the longings of my being in terms of freedom, joy, liberation, expression can be held back from. It's all there before me. All I need to do is say yes and be willing to be available to it, to take each step each day. So whatever it is on your heart, if it's peace and prosperity, if it's health and well-being, if it's creative expression in your career, if it's divine right guidance and decisions that have to be made, or if it's the surrender of the heart, or if it's the compassionate understanding in a difficult moment. Whatever it is, just name it silently to yourself now. Know that the infinite intelligence of the universe hears that. It heard it even before you said it. It's just waiting for the alignment of you to acknowledge that you are one with that which you desire, that which is knocking at the door of your soul to come in, to make home in you, to be embodied in your thoughts, in your being, in your actions, in your affirmation, in your declaration, that it is yours, that you are worthy of it, that you are available to it, and that you can have it right now. That is the truth that has empowered and sustained this community for 47 years, this spiritual teaching for nearly 100 years, and this thing called life from the very beginning. Because it is the infinite truth that has just been discovered. We call it new thought, but it belongs to the stars. It belongs to the infinite. It belongs to creation itself. We just simply put words to it. So I give thanks now for this moment of divine alignment, for the affirmation held by our practitioners, and for the agreement of each soul here. I know that this prayer goes out, makes a difference in the world as we continue to glow up, to shine, and to be the luminous beings that we are in health and fullness of all good things. For this and more, I say thank you, God, and so it is. So it is. Peace and blessings.
Thank you, Reverend Dr. David. And so Reverend David will be here at this door, so make sure you stop at this door, and he will be there for you to say, give hugs and pictures and all of that. And then we have a celebration down in the lower level for gathering together for social time together and some food. And we're so honored that you're here with us this afternoon. So let's sing together our closing song. We envision a world that works for everyone and for all of creation. We see all people, all beings as expressions of God. We see a world that works for everyone. Put your hands together, come on. We envision a world, look around the room, works for everyone and for all of creation. We see all people, as expressions of God. We see a world that works for everyone. We got one more, take it up. We envision a world that works for everyone and for all of creation. We see all people, all beings as expressions of God. We see a world that works for everyone. We see a world that works for everyone. We see a world that works for everyone. 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 Because there's only one. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, see you downstairs, everybody.